So this one's Tanghang Street. We're going to go on to Zhuge Alley.
Too many shops open already.
Yeah, it's getting busy. So this is Zhuge Alley. This is that we can have a conversation about authenticity, like how we understand the value, architectural value. So, like, how do we recognize something that has a potential? So before we started the project here, this was an interesting alley already. There was like some street art, and you'll see some.
It was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they've now covered up a lot of this art with kind of more permanent installations. But this was already quite artistic phase street. So for now we've got this alley, and you can see actually the infrastructure works is very simple here. It's very narrow, but it's an important connecting alley that links Tanghang Street to Nanmen Street, two of the major streets. And I love these buildings. Every single building here has character. So let's look at these. We've got, starting with the Nurses College.
70s.
1970s. There's 5 or 6 buildings here. And then if we turn and look at some of the much more traditional brick village buildings.
Yeah. So each of them present their own periods.
Yeah, their own periods, but also each one tells its own story. Each one's like an individual person. You know, every one has got a story to tell. Again, also some of them are still people's homes. So people are living here just the same way they were before. We will have another conversation about gentrification on a different day. But it's nice to see that yet still it seems that everything is still quite affordable.
Yeah.
It's still everyday life.
You see the before and after.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got, this was a covered drain, wasn't it, in the middle here?
Yeah.
There's quite a dark alley there. And now obviously it's a lot more interesting. Look, so this is quite an early one. This is one of the restaurant courtyard houses that was done.
Yeah. 李老板不在。
老板没在，参观一下呗。
好。Yes.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. So it comes through into this courtyard space. You see, it's quite a popular restaurant, this one. Surrounded by these farmhouse developments. Again, every one of them has got character. Some have been developed and some haven't. But you see how much character this has got. The little pop-up outdoor eating spaces, the very simple approaches to the way that they've dealt with the decoration.
Especially like the background of that building.
Yeah, the background's great. But especially I like the greenery and the plants growing over all the buildings. But it's got so much character, but it's not extravagant. It's very humble, isn't it? It's really simple, and it's not trying to hide its original quality. So actually, this you can see at the front there. This is a clay house at the front.
That's why you keep saying that people are so creative in this region.
Yeah, absolutely.
The young generation.
And what, partly because of the climate, but they make such good use of outdoor space, and it mixes the outdoor and the indoor together. So the interior and the landscape blends together in almost every example we've seen. It's hard to know sometimes where one begins and the other one ends. What I like about this is all the little kind of inside-outside spaces. So you have that kind of open through space there, but then this small courtyard area, and then even the way they're treating these are just old roof tiles that they've used here. It's nice detail. It's very creative because it's not extravagant. Look at the doors. What's really interesting about it, as we work our way down this street, you'll be able to almost recognise the ages because they become slightly more competitive in a creative way as more and more have opened. This one's really fun. This is an artist studio, so it's not all restaurants, cafes and bars here. There's lots of other things mixed in. So this is an example of an artist studio. There's also workshops, you'll see, studios, all kinds of things. But this is really fun in here. So I think they put art classes on for kids in here. Yeah, it's such a great courtyard space. It's just a sun trap down here. And you can see this is one of those brick farmhouses.
80s.
Yeah. And just an open staircase. It's got loads of character to it.
Even the wall tires present that period.
what I like about this is these are the sorts of buildings that you wouldn't recognise as having any particular architectural value. You'd just go, well, it's just utilitarian housing that nobody even sees.
Yeah.
But of course, here it's just been converted into a very simple gallery and studio space. So, it's a gallery now, and there's probably still people living here above, but it wasn't designed as a gallery, it was designed as a house. But it's been adapted to suit a new economy, a new way of life here. So as the market changes, as the economy changes, buildings change their use.
Yeah.
So, better to try and work with the existing structure and materials that you've got. It's cheaper, it's more sustainable. It's got it starts to approach this sort of zero carbon thinking.
There we go.
Yeah.
Please.
So 2 buildings we've seen there so far, 2 very different styles. One which is a collection of small clay houses with like a courtyard space, and another then which is one of these utilitarian 80s kind of village houses with a small courtyard.
There's another one. It's like there's more bookshop, library.
This one's amazing, actually. You're going to love this one. So this one's like a maze inside. It's like a labyrinth. What I love about all of these, actually, is that you can go exploring. You could take all day just to kind of potter around. This one is super special. This is actually one of the first photographs you sent me, was from inside here, the wall with all the
recorder,
tapes, the cassettes. Yeah?
Cassette.
But a nice entrance. It comes in and it doesn't come straight into the courtyard. It immediately turns you off to the side, and then it delays the entrance to the courtyard. Do you want to go first? I'll follow. Yes. And this is a simple, humble refurbishment that's been done. Very basic decoration, but it turns out really well. It's simple. They just painted the old concrete work. This is old farm housing as well, old village housing. And then you see they put these insertions in, these new windows that they filled in here, little connections on the roof. They've connected kind of 4 or 5 disparate bits of building together.
You see that each of the small businesses actually linked each other.
Yeah.
They change to be each of the background.
What I really love, and you can see the other building we're in there, what I really like is the way in which they mash together. So in our work, we talk about Colin Rowe's Collage City. And this is very much the idea of this organic, natural place starting to mash together. All different styles, all different spatial experiences, inside and outside. Very characteristic. This way, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, that's the Cheshire.
Yeah. And again, what we see in here is this younger generation's interest in I guess, vintage artifacts. We see that quite a lot in Ximen Street. It's so cool. Takes me back to being a kid.
When I was in middle school.
Okay. But it's just this sort of vintage, simple, fun collections that in combination with this isn't a clay house now, so we've moved from those brick village houses now into a clay house. So the transition between the two wasn't clear. It was mixed, right?
Yeah.
And we'll keep seeing that. We'll walk further through. Let's go this way. Now again, what they've done here is they've mixed outside and inside. So you go from these quite intimate spaces into a series of terraces. Yeah. You're exploring. You have to really discover, come off the street and then walk around and see what you find. And it's amazing how they just merge together.
Like adventure.
Yeah.
Exploring.
Yeah. It's one of the best things about Ximen Street. So my favourite city in the whole world is Venice. It's the best thing about Venice is you can get lost there.
Yeah.
You start walking on one street, you don't know where you're going to end up, and you just spend all day walking and exploring, finding little squares and things. Ximen has very similar qualities. You take one step off the street,
Definitely.
and all of a sudden you're into this amazing world of exploration.
Yeah.
And just discovering. And every time you come, Doesn't matter whether you're architect or designer, it doesn't matter. Every time you come, you find treasure. You find something you didn't see before. It could be a building or a window or a detail or a wall or a material. So that sense of exploration is what makes it amazing. This is all adaptive reuse. I mean, on an epic scale, every inch of it is adaptive reuse. But it's full of surprises. And for me, the best architecture is not necessarily architecture designed by architects. It's architecture which allows exploration and narrative and stories, and you get lost in it a little bit, and you know, it's immersive. And I think, you know, Ximen Street area has many examples of it.
Can we say it's been designed by ordinary people?
Of course.
Or ordinary design, ordinary
I wouldn't say there's
concept.
anything ordinary about this, but
Okay.
you know, I know what you mean.
know.
You don't need to be a trained designer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But again, it's filled with artifacts. There's an old millstone here. There's a roof tile.
So we are actually afraid.
Look.
Everything has to be designed.
Yeah,
We
look.
don't want everything has to
I
be
mean, it
designed.
is designed, but not necessarily on a piece of paper. You know, they've probably made a couple of sections of this and gone, yeah, I like that. Let's carry on.
Yeah, that's
So-
roof tire.
So it's roof tiles and bricks. It's simple materials
very creative.
with a creative mind, creative thinking. Like, how can I make this work? It's very cheap as well. Sense of authenticity that I think people are starting to love about Ximen Street.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion, everybody has something to say, everybody has a role to play in adding their mark to this place, and it's that combination of 1,000 designers.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so another one.
Another one. So how many
Oh,
is that?
that's more
like
exciting
3,
for me.
4. Okay, this one's really fun.